rounds, while it might not look like a lot, it felt a lot in the game. The difference in terms of how competitive it was and what was actually offered up was vast. So let's see what we get. Expectations are very heavily leaning with BetBoom, as you can see. And I don't know about you, man, but for Rooster, it feels like the vibes are very lax for what needs to be actually quite an important tournament for them. BB are going to have other opportunities to play for trophies and silverware. Rooster, they're limited, and it feels like they're coming into this for the tournament slightly half-assed. Zorte will get a double of his own to give them space, but they're cracking out in towards B, and they will take it as well. JHB left in a tough spot.
Yeah, trying to draw attention across onto the other side of the map has worked successfully here. A walk-in for the 2v1. And it's just ASAP alone. His position revealed. He's got the dualies. It can indeed find the heads fast. Oh. He does get a quick one on the spin, but too many fights, too many bodies. BB start off well.
Very simple pistol round, a bit of presence shown over towards A, just having a little look in. Chelos gets that first kill, but they immediately kind of converge in that position and answer back with a double off the back of Zorta. But it's all a ruse. They're not actually going here, and they end up getting a lot of space to work with over towards A. And yeah, simple stuff at the end of the day. We really need to see this Rooster side come alive and actually, in a way, play as a team, because that's the one thing they didn't do yesterday. It was all very individually based, which sometimes works, but I don't think Rooster in this current iteration of them have the firepower to really work with that. I think Slimy is a bit of a talent. I think Chelios has a lot to offer up as well, but then it does dip off quite notably. Mach 10 for a double. The Galil gets another, and in this low buy, they're getting mopped up pretty cleanly.
Flash was good. Again, not enough weaponry for them to do anything with. So flawless round comes in. It is not against the grain. Always an interesting conversation with the BB team and where they're at the moment, to be honest. nafany mentions these mental issues, and he sort of kept saying himself, as I've said, we've got mental, like it is there. I think it goes a little bit deeper from what we're seeing and some of the players that are on this team that, there really is some negative energy in some of the games, rather than just like a personal confidence or trying to build your way into the game, right? It's a bit deeper than that. May I dangerously use the T word, toxicity? I think there's a few players in here that make it difficult to play as a team.
I think what Alan mentioned on the desk is spot on. I think it's just an excuse. Like, you can only use this so much, but we've been to the point we've had months of this BB side not playing to the level that they should be, considering the talent they've got in the server, and they keep using the mental game, but that's something that should be fixed pretty quickly, or at least have, the pathway of being fixed. And it isn't, right? It's been a really tough run of things. Early into this round, a lot quieter out the gates. nafany takes a bit of damage spammed through the smoke, but apart from this, there's no real commitment. It does look like the bomb wants to rotate back over towards his B site, and, well, this one might be a little bit harder. The rotate's coming through from Rooster, but it might be a tad late here.
Potentially. Smokes are also kind of late. They do block off quite nicely. A follow of the traces, though. This heavy bonus buy may well come back to fight BB. We'll see. Bomb's gone down. There is no kit.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dangerous on the Rooster side of things. They've got to move fast. Yeah, it's not a lot available. It's all going to come down to winning the fight, something that we have questioned in this series before it's even got started. Zorte and Siren remain to defend this post plant. Zorte known about, Siren doubled up. That's really well played in towards Dark. It's all going to be on Zorte. Can't find the shots, and there you are. Rooster will get themselves on the board early here now.
They needed that. They really did. I think if they had lost that kind of full buy against the bonus buy over towards BB, then we would be asking a hell of a lot of questions. We're not, thankfully. And now we get to talk about what hopefully will be a bit of a competition in towards this best of three. Whether it goes 3 maps, that feels, for me, pretty unlikely, unfortunately. For this Rooster side, I just don't think they have enough in the locker to be able to push BB the distance. But whether they can make some of these maps competitive, unlike yesterday, whether they can kind of push them the distance as well, that's what we're looking towards. So getting that first gun round under your belt is good, but this is the first true gun round because BB, that was a bonus. Now they're bringing in the AKs, and they've got the AWP out for Zorta. And speaking of, the AWP sings loud in its first introduction here in towards round number 4. Good start for Zorta. He's always somebody that we're going to look towards. Try and light up the server. That's not a bad way to start.
Not at all. Right, let's see. Slimy. Right around this corner, looking to make a play, but it was sort of a bait there. Again, very well done. There's some good coordinated moves here from Rooster. So an even situation befalls the server. Flash comes in towards A main. Rooster relentless right now. Really putting their best foot forward. Got the shoulders out. Aggressive moves, even though it could potentially cost them spots and cost them advantages. Looking very good here, but theory is one, execution is another. 1-for-1 trade still, again, not going to be perfect. The bomb sites are getting weaker and weaker.
Yeah, trades generally in this situation as well benefit the T side. And BB now, as they head back towards B, which they've defaulted to, is pretty undermanned. Only TJP here to try and lock them out. And he doesn't really have any close support. Nobody's playing through mid or through dark, so he's sort of got to go huge here. He's not taking contact. Orp holding. He's going to drop himself a bit of a Molotov, but just as he starts to cock that gun again, he will get caught. It's very nice timing play by Kyron. Smoke's out going to come through towards CT. Bomb going to go down as well. This feels like a very difficult retake. Yes, they have the kit this time, but I don't know if you want to give this a go.
No, I wouldn't have thought so, unfortunately. It's painful to be on the end of, but has to happen, really. As you talked about and touched on right at the start of the round, BB have come in with the stronger weaponry and maybe a bit more of a game plan. It felt like a simple B execute in that first rifle was not all that deep. They've done something very similar here, but it's, again, a bit more fleshed out. And I think there is an argument to be made, isn't there? It's early on in the game. You're on the T side. You can direct things. Also coming in as that overdog.
Yeah.
Maybe you are going to have 1 or 2 early sort of bait rounds just to see how your opponents react to the basic ideas.
Sure.
And then it's like, oh, okay, they have more aggressive tendencies, so I can adjust the call in a certain way. So it's a clever, nuanced couple of moves here from nafany so far.
Yeah, and so far so good. Another round taken under the belt as well, now 3-1. I mean, we can start talking about this BB side building up a little bit of a T-side, and that's exactly what they have to do as well. I mean, this is Anubis, the most T-sided map in the pool currently, and we do need to see BB probably guarantee a lead, if not take quite a healthy one at that as well. Not that they're going to be, you'd expect, under that much pressure in towards this second half either. This is a map that is statistically very weighted over towards the BB side. I mean, even though Rooster picked into it, I mean, like we said, we were asking Ro a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Why have we not gone to Mirage here as the pick? I know it's come through as that map number 3, but as Des touched on, it feels quite unlikely that we're even going to get there. So the fact that you haven't played for yourself, as we like to always say, you've tried to maybe counter them or throw a bit of a spanner in the works. They did that yesterday. I mean, going against Saw, right? They went into Nuke. They're arguably one of the best teams in the world on Nuke right now. And you're thinking to yourself, why? Why have we gone here? Yes, Mirage is Nuke, is Saw's perma, but there's still other areas where they felt a little bit stronger. And the fact that they allowed it down there feels weird, and the fact that Anubis is picked into feels a little strange as well.
It does. I mean, overthinking things, there's so many different permutations of why this sort of decisions come in, but maybe you feel they would expect the Mirage pick, so you go for something slightly in the middle of your pool. Maybe they spent all their hours just prepping an Anubis for this series and against this particular opponent. But with the quick turnaround at these events, I doubt that they really had much time to put the prep work in. Mid control has dropped here now. We've got 4 on B. Looks like it will be an A split, unfortunately. So ASAP's going to have his work cut out here. Looking to, again, make something happen, just show that presence. Tries to get an early frag. Not going to happen. Sorte holding down middle. Gets 1 and the second. That's clean. Really nicely done. And this is where it's starting to unfold a little. The BB individuals revealing themselves, and you may have all the reads in the world, but Rooster, unfortunately, are not matching up.
Kyron will miss, but Magna just doesn't, and TJP, of course, that B anchor will just try to keep hold of this rifle, but even that might actually be something he has to fight his life for. They're starting to swarm a little bit. They might actually get towards his position as well just before this bomb goes off. TJP's got to keep hold of this rifle. They do not have money left in reserve. They don't have a long-term econ to fall back on. So just having a rifle to work with is better than nothing. But very simple rounds by BB to kickstart things. Yeah, looking pretty good. nafany's playing quite well. Zorta obviously looking crisp. In the couple of rounds he's seen him with the AWP, he's looked very, very on form, which is always good to see. I mean, Zorta, unfortunately for him, he fluctuates a bit in terms of his performances, but these are a nice couple of quick shots. And if he starts to play like that, you know, Chelios to the side, he's a very decent AWP himself, but I don't think he matches up to the skill ceiling of his daughter on form. At the moment, of course, he's got all the luxury. We haven't seen the AWP out yet for Rooster, so he has just all this benefit of range. And once again, a low buy coming through for Rooster. Expectation is that BB take this one pretty cleanly.
Maybe a gun or two would be nice. An attempt being made here. Does not happen. Siren on those entries, making it look easier. Now they have the full control of that A-bomb site as they so desired. But still, it would seem greedy for both sites. Kyron has just given permission to go hunting and go searching. No one on the other end of his weaponry just yet, but I think they really want to find this M4, deny the save, and just keep the relentless weight on this Rooster side. So far, so good. Zorte'd been holding that one for a while. It pays off. All going to be down. Slimy, and he is bested on the other side of the smoke. So, yeah, that's where it looks dangerous, right? When you've got these half-buy rounds, there's a little bit in it for you, and you can't even get like one kill. You can't even create some kind of a positive exchange. That's where it gets very, very worrying.
Exactly. Even just using kind of the pistols as cannon fodder to try and get that rifle in the action, try and get TJP in towards a fight, which maybe can drop another gun, and then one of the pistols can pick it up, something like that. But yeah, we don't even see that. So tough predicament so far for Rooster, but we will have that full buy coming out for them. Right, and at least now Chelios gets in towards the AWP, which is what we want to see. The rifles along the side of him and the full belt of util. So the positives to work with, but a bit of an early tack pause and a moment to have a conversation, primarily over towards Rooster in particular. Right, they desperately need to converse about how we're going to get rounds on the board here, because I don't know, we're 5-1 down and we haven't really seen anything since there's been any sort of investment. Right, the pistol round, sure, that had a bit of niceties behind it, but yeah, since then, good work. It was Siren, of course, walks away with the kind of the MVP of that round, a double kill to open things up. He just went hunting. He knew it was a low buy, and he knew he could just punish them.
Some quick moves here, actually. It felt like it was maybe a bit slower, but when you look on that minimap, you can see how fast they have made their way in towards Dark. Has been heard even. So this looks to be a good setup for Rooster, in all honesty. BB are not wasting any time, breaking the smokes, looking for this first fight, absolutely in the heads of their opponents. And I mean, I suppose both metaphorically and physically, hopefully, with these AKs is what they're after. No kills as yet. They draw back. There's sort of this two-man hunting party looking for the first kill. They were in at Dark a few moments ago. Now they're looking over at A. They'll find success there. It's a move coming in from the CT side. Zorte is too fast. Chelios here will get one, misses the second shot and trade it out. So still looking very, very good for the T side. Slimy put under pressure. They know where he's at. Can make it out. The one thing they have is that bomb spilled right at their feet. So this is the time for, well, it's going to be a 1v4, I suppose. JHD. There's the first. They're set up to trade him. Can't quite do it. Could get some quick headshots here if he plays his cards right. Oh. Down to the 1 versus 1. Low ammo, and he went for it, but Zorte just didn't know where he was at. It's unfortunate. A very fair try from JHD, who came in last minute for this team as well. Not quite enough, though.
Those who do watch quite a few of the other events as well, you know, JHD's primarily the guy who's in the past been behind this side as the coach. You might recognize him when he wears his slightly big suits. They're quite... I'd say a little bit oversized, but it's part of the bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, you know, a player who was never really seen as a kind of a quote-unquote top pro player in the scene, but didn't look too bad there. Of course, has had a bit of a slight knock-on effect. I mean, I say slight. There's still plenty of money, but nafany's opted for this Mac 10. He knows the economy's going to be broken over towards Rooster. So BB, I mean, Mac 10 investment, this can farm a lot of cash, especially considering that TJP is completely unaware of that potential, and the scout running in is a questionable choice. Slimy gets one, but an instant response, and that is the B site. Once again, they're loving this B site because it's working.
It's so interesting, like, watching the player cams, right? I've just kind of picked up on this within this game. nafany looks like so intense, you know?
Very vocal early doors.
Yeah. I think that's maybe something that, again, they've been kind of working on and working through. Maybe he is a lot to work with in that sense. There's obviously a few IGLs like that very heavily direct the game, but also still have to get kills. But you see it in that round. He's in behind. It's like an anti-eco. It feels like a good spot, and he's just so animated in the calling, in the communication and whatnot.
It's good work as well, because for nafany, in a way, he's at the moment slightly calling around himself, and he's getting into really good positions. 8 and 4 out the gates, but he's finding a lot of information early, and once he gets that kill, for example, you're talking about, he gets very animated because he wants them to execute the other side, because he knows there's going to be just half a second to work with, and there's a gap that they can exploit to get some control towards B, and they do. Really simple stuff, though. Ultimately, 7-1 is the scoreline. BB will lock themselves in towards a lead already. That's guaranteed when heading in towards that second half. And now it's actually starts to add more to the conversation of, right, now we've got the lead. It's about how much of a lead can we get? Can we start pushing ourselves to the direction of, you know, an 8-4 half, a 9-3 half? I mean, we saw yesterday, they're like, you know, double digits in the first half, and some of those best of ones was not uncommon. That's just how one-sided they were. And both of these sides were, fortunately, on the tail end of a double-digit half not in their favor. So they want to get a bit of revenge off the back of what was a poor start to this tournament. And of course, with it being the elimination game, backs up against the wall, you're wanting to stay alive. Second flash is good. Kyron can't hit that shot as well. Wasn't quite ready for it. Slimy gets one of his own as well. Zorta spots one on that jump up. And he knows with the smokes in front of him, it's not actually worthwhile pushing through for the fight.
Rooster clearly have some rounds here, man. That's a very, very nice CT aggression with the deep smokes coming in to just stop the support. Really well played. May well give them a springboard. Still got to confirm the round, though, of course. Sorte's been playing lights out. Magno Jez maybe not lighting up the kill feed as much, but he is a name that we're all watching. The JP will take the double. Okay. Fair enough. They will secure this one then for my money. There's loads of money here. I think Zorte, it might even benefit him to just try and drop some guns, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, they're still, for Rooster, their long-term econ is in such a weird spot that it is actually definitely the way to go about it. Try and get a couple of kills maybe at the end if you can. If anybody comes hunting, most definitely. Of course, on the other side, Rooster do have that AWP, so they're not in desperate need of it. Zorta, for him, it'll be a bit of a nervy final 20 seconds as he's... It's for me, I think, the toughest map to save on because it's just quite congested. There's not a lot of corners you can tuck yourself into. It's quite a small map, generally speaking, as well. Looks like he'd be given the luxury. I'll say that. Yeah, no. TJP, other ideas. Quad kill for him. So leading by example. Really nice work coming through from the man in the middle. And it will be a second on the ball for Rooster. And actually a really clean round, too, which is absolutely what they needed. They can't just do the thing of just getting around. They've got to take them cleanly with a bare minimum of 3 players staying alive, or they're going to be in this issue where, and we see it all the time with CT economies, that finally when you break the deadlock and you get around in your favor, but you've taken like 4 casualties, your money is destroyed. And that's sort of the issue that Rooster now don't have to deal with. They have a little bit of in reserves, and they can hopefully build up a bit of confidence too. 7-2, 7-5. Honestly, it's not a bad 5-round CT. I think is generally accepted as being not too bad, being this a T-sided map. But even 8-4 is okay. You just can't allow it to be like a 9-3 or a 10-2. That's where this can't be a flash in the pan, is what I'm trying to say. This has to be a bit of consistency coming through.
They're in a good position. They are in a very good position to still turn this into something serviceable. BB will be looking to dig deeper and give some respect across to this team, I feel. So a lot of time gone on the clock. We once saw the T side playing so very fast, and a lot faster than you maybe expect Anubis to function in the early stages of a round. This one, much slower, much higher level of patience from this team. Try and get the AWP working. They're even sort of really doing their due diligence to make as little noise as possible in terms of where they're peaking. I believe this is a walk through a late smoke here from the T side. They like the idea of middle. It is a spot that Rooster have not really had much pressure on. They've been heavily bolstering up a bomb site. Feels like a gamble. In comes the attack, however. And yeah, maybe too much space given across. We'll see. ASAP doesn't have anyone pressuring him from the side quite yet. 2 is good from there. He maybe looks away and gets taken down, but it looks pretty clean here. The HPs are very, very low. Bomb has not been planted. Nade going to come in. Could indeed land well. It doesn't quite, unfortunately. So they get that bomb. They get that reset on the round. And Rooster now the pressure on for this retake.
They know where both of them are as well. They've heard both of them. I don't think, not on this timing at the very least, they're going to expect TJP to have gone for a rotation. He would have already activated that move. He's now spotted, now dropped as well by Zorta. And don't have the Chelios. Nice shot for the first as well. Siren is barely alive. 1 foot in the grave. Chelios full HP. And he might have got the comm as well to pull out the pistol, but he does it with the AWP. Great little two-piece from the Aussie right at the end there. They needed that. They desperately needed that. And that's a back-to-back round for Rooster, and that is going to keep them afloat. It's fine margins on the defuse, but he'll get there in the end. Beautiful work. They were in desperate need of making that 2v2 stick in their favor, and the fact that they do is massive. Still, BB are at a point where they're not under financial pressure just yet, but just in terms of the confidence, now it is Rooster hitting some nice shots.
Yeah, to be fair, ASAP especially, I think, had a good individual moment there. I did get worried when that AWP shot came in from Sorte, honestly. Maybe a bit of a needless peek, you could argue as well in the 1v1 if we are to be nitpicky.
Yeah. But then again, is that the benefit of hindsight, we like to say,
it's
right?
It's true, it's true. He's not even tapped the bomb, though.
Yeah,
there wasn't a lot of time, so I will stand by my point, to be honest.
He had no kit as well. There was a kit dropped, I guess, on that kind of a real high-pressure situation, but we see teams make that mistake all the time where they get on it, but it's actually, you know, 9 seconds left, and you don't have a kit, and you've missed your window. BB needs to be careful on the sense of, obviously they're going to guarantee a lead in towards the second half, but if they allow Rooster to get 5, momentum has shifted at that point, and at that point, if they win a pistol, game absolutely on.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's got to be a comfortable 8, if not 9, I think, with the way, especially that BB began. Again, it's very much a trend at this tournament with how mismatched some of the games have been. The fashion in which the rounds were coming in, you know, and how strong they looked on that winning streak. Weren't a lot of clutches in there. The bank is still not broken, right? So just kind of goes to show how strong BB have been. 35 seconds left on the clock here, crossing camera, and that really sets up a lot of different avenues. It's going to be the wrap towards B. Again, Rooster with the changing in resources. They have guessed correctly, 3 players on the site itself. Doesn't matter if we've not got the mid control, but they are looking at another situation where a multi-frag potentially has to come in. The rotations are on the way. TJP gets overlooked. They weren't expecting 3 to be in on this site. A bomb fake to draw some attention. There's not a lot of time to get it down. It's back into a 2-on-2. That's a big kill from ASAP. Keeps the dream alive here. Both spotted now, though, and Magno Jez, there he is. That's what we've been talking about all over this weekend. Quick 2-piece, flashy as you like.
The mayonnaise man himself. Beautiful stuff from Magno Jez. And they needed that on the flip side. We spoke about how Rooster that previous round was so important just to get a little bit of consistency, all right? Get a consecutive round on the board. It gives you foundations to work with, but the response coming through, Magno Jez, that 1v2 being converted is massive. And that's where still we get to look at this and say on the other side of BetBoom have done what we've asked them. Get up to 8, right? For this BB side, we're now in a spot where we're feeling okay, right? I think 8-4, it's still... a lot has to go right for Rooster. A pistol, a force bite, and then the first gun round all have to go in their favor. And we haven't seen that level of consistency out from them yet. So it's asking them to do something which is unheard of so far in this tournament, basically.
Yeah, and I mean, that is a heartbreaker as well, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. You lose out a clutch. You lose a 5v3 situation that was like 2 free kills. Yeah. I think it might even have been 5v2 at one point, very, very briefly. So... feels like almost the perfect spot, and they can't make that work. You come crashing back down to reality, don't you? They obviously understand themselves as the underdog. BB back to their speedy rounds, it would seem. They've done well to find the first 2 openers. They've got the A bomb site. Obviously got to go for this. I would argue this is a normal saving situation, but yeah, you've got to go for it here if you're Rooster.
Yeah, also a perfect time to go for a bit of a quicker round for BB, or just because they know that the money would require a bit of a force buy, and they know there's going to be SMGs in the play. So just try and put them under that pressure, and they have, you know, there's a UMP and an MP9 in play, and both get absolutely no mileage. This one's done though, isn't it? Some 20 seconds left on this bomb, and it's a 4 versus 2, which feels like it's got absolutely no legs behind it. 9-3.5, that's pretty damn good. I think that's a tough one to lose, Griff.
Yeah, absolutely. Chelios can't get anything done. Down it goes, and that will be BB showing up today, finally. We'll see T-side on the other side of this.
I'll keep your picture in my room, 'cause it gets me in the mood. You're still living free in my head. You got me so confused. My mind is full of you. Still want you in my room. Don't wanna get rid of you. On my mind right now, I'm not too late. You got me so confused. My head is full of you. You keep slipping away. I learned the hard way. But something's gotta stay. Don't let it go to waste. Do you remember all of the long nights warm in my bed? Nightfall to sunrise, that's what you said. You held me so tight each time again. I'll keep your picture in my room. Don't wanna get rid of you. On my mind when I am up too late. You got me so confused. My head is full of you. Done with silly games. Don't leave me hanging on. Keep me hanging. I said it once, I'll say it again. Your love is what I want. Do you remember all of the long nights warm in my bed? Nightfall to sunrise, that's what you said. And you had me so tight each time again. In my room, I'll keep you safe. Don't stay away too long, pulling back and forth. Still got me paralyzed. Got what you came for. One thing that I've kept. I'll keep your picture in my room, 'cause it gets me in the mood. You're still living free in my head. You got me so confused. My mind is full of you. Still want you in my room. Don't wanna get rid of you. On my mind when I am up too late. You got me so confused. My head is full of you. I'll keep your picture in my room, 'cause it gets me in the mood. You're still living free in my head. You got me so confused. My mind is full of you. Still want you in my room. Don't wanna get rid of you. On my mind when I am up too late. You got me so confused.
There are sparks of hope. There are moments of proficiency from Rooster, but unfortunately nothing to create the fire behind this team quite yet. Maybe the T side of Anubis, their pick. Why have they picked into this? We say this is now the time to show us. Unfortunately, though, Neo,
Hit me.
it's got to start with the pistol.
Yeah.
And getting consistency there is so difficult. So,
You're a man of much hopium.
Yes.
I'm going to say it. That first half from Rooster, it was kind of ass, right? They didn't really give us a lot to work with. I'm going to be brutally honest here. And this pistol has to go massive. Jumping around the corner, though. We'll take that. JHD, he actually had a nice couple of moments. His clutch was pretty clean, but that's the bomb. What are we doing? What are we doing here? JHD's going to get his kill, sure, but they lost the bomb. He was the last in, but the fights are going in their favor, and Siren and Zort have got to bail them out.
it was all part of the strategy. Down to just 2, yes, they are here quite fast. The bomb has yet to commit. JHD does get taken down, but I think they were playing, maybe panickedly, but they were playing off this information that the A bomb site should be vulnerable. speedy as you can here, Siren, but unfortunately not really able to fully cut them off. The bomb going to cross. There's a couple of fights to come down as well. They're not really giving them. It is this flank. Zorte looks panicked in and of himself. This is an all-over-the-place kind of pistol. The Glock's coming out on top here. Zorte runs out of ammunition, and he will go down, despite working against themselves almost.
Yeah.
It will be Rooster on that pistol.
2 for 2 in pistols, though. That is actually something to work with. Now, we can talk about where probably BB go for a lesser investment here, is my assumption. Didn't really get a hell of a lot in towards that first round, so that's the one thing they've got. You know, generally speaking, force buying CT sides, you know I'm not a fan of them when you lose that pistol, but in this instance, because they just didn't really get that many kills, they might not go for it here. If they do, they're not going to bring a lot to the table. So yeah, they are just going to go for that lesser investment, which does mean Rooster should get up to a 5th, and relatively inexpensively as well, you'd hope. Especially if ASAP and TJP can get active here and get the Mac 10s to get the kill bonus. That's good long-term money to work with. But a pop coming out of a main here. Karen gets 1, but Magnajaz and Siren will also fall.
I like the P250 here, getting more and more active, trying to catch another straggler. It's already, though, the little differences where the BB move to drop 1 or 2 players is successful. Rooster could never get these types of rounds to really do anything. nafany will shoot the Galil into the hands of Chiron. It is quite a shrewd move.
Keep hold of it. I don't think we need to lose this here. It's honestly not a bad gun to use in towards a full gun round. You know, M4s alongside this, pretty decent all in all. So it looks like they will keep hold of it. I don't think that's the worst round. It's basically a complete non-existent round of what our expectations are from BB. So to get a kill, to get a Galil, I don't think is the worst thing in the world. For BB, it's about this next round. And exactly the same as how that first half started as well. Rooster found the pistol, get the force buy behind it, but the double nade will actually make sure that nothing is saved, nothing gained for the BB side. And okay, this is looking better. You know, they spoke about the GOAT bringing the vibes, and the vibes are looking a little bit better now off the back of what was a pretty tough first half. This gun round is everything, and we said if we want to see anything from Rooster, the pistol, the force, and then the gun round is where they have to take a bit of consistency. We didn't see that consistency at all so far throughout this tournament. So it's now the time to change. If they get this, that it would be huge. There's a Mac 10 to come through for JHD and a couple of Galils and the hands of Slimy and Chelios. On the other side, though, there is a FAMAS to work with for nafany, so not a complete full buy in that sense with the premium rifles. Might be workable.
They want to move fast there on the Rooster side, it feels like, where there was a bit more of a split going on from the BBT side. Rooster are pretty much all together, lurking presence, maybe from Slimy. But they are hanging around, keeping the control, and then a late round execute, I suppose. Very, very simple. Maybe a slow build-up, but once it gets going, it's all they're about. They've maybe drawn attention by not really making any noise, and the site itself, it's not all that well defended. Kill through the smoke for either side. Plant going to come in here. It's lovely and comfortable for the T's. Slimy does find his rotation on the backside, as they will look to continue retaking in. 2-on-2 now as the dust settles. No kit available. Magnajez caught reloading. It's down to just Zorte. Keen headshot on the first. JHD not the healthiest. He's smoked out as well. Looking to make a bit of a break play. Takes damage himself for the trouble, and Zorte will spam him down. There's enough time to get the defuse in. It's another clutch lost, and again, you can just feel it in the air from the BetBoom side of things, and it's so unfortunate for Rooster. These final little nicks and issues that they have just keep coming back, keep haunting them.
It's really small misplays that are actually costing them in that sense, and that's tough. I think really well played from Zorte. You know, that's 2 big 1v2s that have been converted in this game so far that completely changed the momentum of a round. Of course, the first one, Magnajez, that one by Zorte, I mean, that's a big, big round to be taken. And converting your first gun round is big as well, but that was technically a bonus buy for Rooster. So they do have a reinvestment back in towards the next with actually a little bit better firepower in this one. There are 2 Galils in the last, just the one here. TJP will chunk an A to start things off. Not what he wanted. Makes him very vulnerable to the MP9, the FAMAS, the M4s all. That one bullet headshot now that they can drop on towards him. BB are getting closer though. 3 rounds away from taking Rooster's map pick and really throwing a bit of a spanner in the works of any sort of hopes or dreams that Rooster had of getting a map or you know, even the pretty outlandish discussion of a series. Already feel like they're slipping away. This map kind of felt like it was a must-have if they wanted any chance, just because the next is so good. Dust2 is a very good map for BB. Bar yesterday. Yesterday they did get completely outplayed on it, but it's not been a good map for Rooster. They're 1 for 4 on it in the last 3 months. So that one feels like a lock-in.
50 seconds on the clock again. Rooster have just sort of wound things down, not really looking to go for the catches. Contact flash is successful. Return frags are here. Bomb needs planting, and it may not get the chance. nafany standing strong at the back of the site. He will filter out eventually. It's TJP who is in that rotation position. They expect him. That's unfortunate. I thought he might get a catch. It's created time and space for the bomb to go down, but now it's a clutch for Rooster that is required. Oh my, Chelios finds the head through the smoke. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, that's big. That is a big 1v2 on the flip side as well. Chelios lines up the first and transfers on towards the second. That is a big one to be taken. And now we get to discuss about what this Rooster side have on the T side. T side of Anubis, generally seen as easier, more workable, and that was a really nice little play coming through. So massive from him. Really, really important. Got a kill early in the round, so it's a 3K he walks away with in that one, plus the bomb plant as well. He's sitting on a fair, decent amount of cash, and of course can mean a drop coming over towards the likes of ASAP. So yeah, really nice work. It will be a brief pause to converse here. Railway's going to enter the conversation for BB to, I mean, try and help them out, but it seems like nafany's primarily the one getting vocal here.
Is he?
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of just going to let it play out, but nafany's been really vocal. It feels like more than usual. We touched on it a little bit earlier. Very emotive in terms of the way he's playing, and maybe this is one of the ways that they're trying to fix their quote-unquote mental issues.
Yeah,
well, is getting nafany as a bit more of a leading voice and saying what I say goes type thing. Let's not discuss and bicker about what we think we should be doing. I'm the IGL. What I say is what we do, and maybe that's one way they're going to fix it. And then at least there's maybe one person they can put the blame on. I love that little play though. Mangler just with the flash, Simon with the kill, and he'll take a Mach 10 and another kill to come through. I don't like this.
Oh no. nafany with that USP. That's the big kill as well. There is presence behind. They now know they have to kind of figure out a way out of here. In the same vein, not moving all that much on the Rooster side of things, just hoping the mind games can work in their favor. And you know what? They may well have done. The B-boys went downstairs, tried to get ahead of the A rotation. That never happened.
Yeah.
Slimy has been very brave here, watched all his teammates fall around him, and ultimately has not moved a step for quite a long time. They will maybe not discover it completely clear, but this looks like a clean enough B entry to me. Yeah, they've not clocked on at all on the BB side, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think the other unfortunate thing is the guns they dropped they haven't picked up. I mean, they got the Mach 10, but they haven't got, I think it was a Galil that gets dropped just outside of main. That makes it difficult. Slimy did have a look in towards Darks. He's nothing there, and now they should know that basically they can only really come from 1 or 2 places. In through connector or on that flank, and they do plant open for it. So maybe not completely aware of those possibilities just yet. 3 players fighting at the same time, though. Zorta's low, but he's pretty crisp with a deagle. If he can hit a shot here, we might be on for something. Chelios holding Constable, still keeping an eye, and they actually will pick up that AK-47 in the hands of nafany, who gets a kill. Last man in towards Dark. Slimy's got to go huge here. Mach 10 might swing, but it's Zorta with the headshot. As predicted, there's just something special about AWPers on the pistols, and that is a that's one of those rounds that you should never be losing. And, 99 times out of 100, Rooster won't lose that, but I just don't think they realize that they should be on that timing in through main. It's tough. That's a really tough one to lose. That's the one that really breaks the mental as well. Not even just in terms of the econ or the flow of the game they were feeling. That just hurts. You're thinking, we've just lost it. We lost to primarily USPs.
I think the moment, though, is when that kill happens in towards Dark. You have to have that protocol, you have to have that call to just freeze things up, and they sort of continued on with the B role. And that's what sort of let them down. No information, really. I think everyone starts to focus in on Dark. Maybe the call came in. It's like, oh, I think there's two, actually. You know,
yeah.
I heard 2 sets of footsteps, stuff like this. And that just allows the rest of the stack to activate. So more respect, more patience required from Rooster in that previous round, but they do not have a lot of time. That's what patience is usually all about. They rush straight in with the flash. TJP definitely feels like he's been one of the standout members of this team. Entries in to begin the round for Rooster. Can they do anything with it, though?
We now got an M4 picked up as well. It was a hero AK from TJP. If Rooster can flip this script again with a reversal of their own on a low buy, that would be pretty huge. Still 4 players left alive for BB, not under that pressure just yet. And of course, Zorta with the AWP still alive too. Don't count them out. Siren, though, going a little deep here. Could be overrun, could be overrun. 1 for 1's not good enough considering TJP gets a double. That's big, that is massive. That's 3 kills for him now, and also the sight. They might just save.
Yeah, I think you probably should here, to be honest with you, unless a kill reveals itself in the next few moments. Chelios, obviously, on this Glock is just an info bot. There's not much that he's expected to do. He's going to get stabbed in the back by the looks of things. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe not. We are being teased by Chiron. He will back off and save alongside Zorte. So, Rooster, it's a really nice round, playing into their strengths, right? Get an individual to take over. Really simple team-based Counter-Strike that I think they've kind of talked over, and they have made their game. Just don't go too deep, don't go too advanced, grouping up, playing as a pack, and it works very, very well there. So they've given themselves a lifeline, a key lifeline, losing out to the eco, but then winning an eco of sorts themselves. Maybe not quite as harsh or as heartbreaking for the BB side, but this is a window of opportunity for the Australians.
Yeah, super important 3-piece coming through there from TJP. Finds the first, and nafany as well for back of Chelios's flash, and then that double spray down towards Siren and Magnajez is massively important. But you can see nafany just sticks on just a tad too long over towards doors. If he had tucked his head earlier and recovered from the flash, he's probably still a strong position that he holds, but yeah, a little bit no man's land. He was caught in 2 minds. Do I stick around and just expect nobody to swing, or do I dip away? And he, I think, made that innate decision just a little bit too slowly. You do have a buy around what was saved. I like this from Chiron. I mean, it's a pretty good position to hold here, because you can cover mid once that smoke fades, but also if anybody tries to pressure Dark, they just might not clear this on timing.
Rooster seem to have a very similar style, round on round, really. All group up, choose an area, and then make a late move. Chiron, great position for him. Such a hard one to clear, like you say. Drops down, was nearly there. I think as soon as he landed, he hit a dink. Just 1 more bullet required to potentially win the round all by himself. Not quite the case. So Rooster still alive. Nade doesn't make it anywhere near JHD. The bomb undiscovered, so we are most definitely still on here now.
I'm not going to count it out on either side, especially with, JHD being him low, TJP up close. That's MP9 territory. Didn't even get a tag as well on towards nafany. And at range, Siren for the first. He doesn't need to swing. Patience is a virtue here. The molly, the flash combo is brilliant. The bomb spilled forward this round. Surely dead in the water. Another flash as well to meet Slimy. We'll get a shot. Those ones over towards Cameron. There's another's in towards Heaven. He's got the information. Can he isolate the fight as well? He'll slow things down. He will find Siren, surely. We're not letting a 1v3 slip through. Surely not. Bomb collected. Bomb tapped, but not committed. Time ticking. We've got a plot here. And he will be given that luxury of getting it down. Magnajez, patience for him. He's just crept by as well. Slimy's looking the wrong way. I don't think he spotted the gun barrel. Slimy's looking. He's trying to clear every angle. I think they ring around the roses here. It's about who spots who first. Slimy spots him out. He's running low on ammo. Oh, a couple of bullets and somehow makes it work. That is a monstrous 3-piece. Slimy, what a round, what a player, and what a play. That is massive. And Rooster, they're back.
Yes, that is huge. That is huge. That will really do a lot of work for the mental as well to keep them in this game and keep them believing in this comeback, it really felt like it was over. He's done so well, man. Those first 2 kills just isolating it. And the sense of timing, the sense of consideration of everything. He looked at A main, he was like, I've got to write that off, and just, yeah, found the timing to not get pushed from behind, but also keep the information coming in. Really does speak to experience on this map, experience in clutches like that.
Now we see why they picked it, right? That's it. Experience versus age. 19-year-old Magnagers, only 3 times the amount of rounds played as JHD. He's a grinder, of course, came through Spirit Academy, was touted, you know, pretty loosely, but as the next Donk, because he basically just followed the same pathway, but Donk moved up to the main team. Magnagers came through towards Spirit Academy and played a lot of those similar roles. Very impactful rifler on his day, and really talented when he came through Spirit Academy. He definitely wants to keep an eye out for the future as well. He's still, you know, nowhere near kind of his peak level or, you know, his prime in terms of his age as well. So I'm really excited to see what he can bring in the future. I mean, he's added a lot to this BB side. And at times has been quiet this tournament, in all fairness.
It's true.
It's been primarily Zorta has been kind of the main port of fire. Power. nafany. How does he win that fight at range with the jewelries and a dink on towards Slimy? Let's not lose another eco, please. It's a 3v2. Make that 2v2. But it's all down to one, and Magnagers, he's only got a USP.
Slimy's still dinkable, man. They've really put the fear into them here. They will manage to group up and work together. They know vaguely where he's at, you know, and the fact that he, at this point, can't be anywhere near this A bomb site. Very strange, though. Rooster, I think, tense, potentially a timeout here would be a good idea, I think, to just loosen the muscles a little bit, right? I think there's a lot of really tight grips on the mouse right now, and it can obviously make you sort of jumpy in these rounds. Your own worst enemy, as it were. Yeah, surely not going to be a setup like this. He will get the first, but there it is. The trade is there. It's still way too close for comfort. You feel like the first guy's got to just clap him.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. So there you are. BB never out of any round at the moment. Rooster really having to work for this.
Yeah, and I think, you know, in a way for BB, I don't even think they're too upset with that. You know, that's a more or less a no-buy round. They've kind of gone for like $300 pistols, and they're walking away with 4 kills. They're like thinking, all right. I mean, and you can even see there, you know, for kind of TJP and generally for Rooster, it's a sigh of relief to win that round. Not really as much of like, come on, let's go. This is what we got. They're like, thank God, right? They let us slip again. So
can't lose 2 ecos in the same map, man.
Oh, you know? Yeah, exactly. And now we go back into the buy for BB2, and, you know, back in towards the AWP for Zorta. He was crisp as all hell in towards the first half with it. And we get him firing on all cylinders, especially considering that Chelios has been quiet. Definitely by his standards. He's normally actually the main player you look towards on this Rooster side. He definitely has had his, you know, stint at times online and even domestically. But yeah, it's looked a little quiet online here in Atlanta.
Chiron, restless, does not want to get locked into any particular angle. He's constantly moving around here. They are on the approach. Smoke comes in. It's good timing on it. Chelios just rings off a shot, hoping for something to land. Rooster have once again wound this clock down. More of a mid-based default, so could still, in theory, go anywhere. They don't have a lot of time to do so, though. The utility is enough for a clean execute. So it feels like to me they might end up on this B-bomb side. Trying to get the dark control, though. And again, they're still not really giving any sort of inkling. There's really little time here. Flash comes in. It's ineffective. Chiron's got the easiest 2-piece of the game so far. AWP trained in on B main is enough, and the kills keep on coming. Chiron is replaced by another. It's all down to TJP. It's a clean find for one, but not enough. And maybe Rooster just waiting too long on that one, you know, getting a bit predictable towards the tail end of the game. Yeah, it's a really nice isolation of fights, I think, coming through from BB. I think they just do a very solid job of making sure that there's not really any preferential fights for Rooster there. You know, they try and take dark control, that standard molly setup. The pot flash doesn't do anything over towards Chiron, so he lines up both of them. It does more to Rooster than it does to him, and well, he's gladly going to accept both of them. Zorta's never missing a shot like that, and a nice little clean up at the end by Magnagers. So good round all in all. It's a double AWP setup as well. Magnagers going to pick it up for the first time in this game. Interesting time to go for a double AWP as well. Wait,
I think you would understand that money's a little bit feeble over towards Rooster, and they have to force into this. There's a world in which they could get overwhelmed, especially with Tech 9s. When they get running, they're really difficult to slow down.
Again, though, Rooster, you know, there just is not where we had BB showing so much early presence, taking an early fight. It's a little bit more in this round at the moment. Sorte will open up proceedings. More tag damage coming in as well, so a really clean start out from the CT side. Should be able to work off of this.
3 towards B. 1 sort of starting to rotate back. I mean, 3 towards A, 1 starting to rotate over towards B to bulk up the site. It's the wrong call at the moment. Look at the numbers. Oh, this first fight could be big as well. Hand spotted, shot, never going to be missed by Zorta. He'll take that every day of the week. And now we've got an AK Galil and the Deagle to try and salvage this round of the 3 versus 5. And ASAP will be good for the first. The second, not so much.
Chelios and ASAP to save the game then. It is a nice find from ASAP. He unfortunately gets traded out quickly. Chelios is not foreign to a clutch. He's managed to scoop up the big green as well here, just not ready for that main flank as quickly as it came, and it will be BB to take it. It takes a while. Yeah. I think we see some Counter-Strike out from Rooster, which is exactly what we wanted. A good performance, one they can potentially be proud of. In fact, I think a really, really nice second half from them. In particular, there are a few rounds you can point towards where they shouldn't have lost them, right? Yeah. The eco thing. But maybe a game like this with a few flashy individuals, a ragtag bunch on the Rooster side, they might give us something fresher to watch. But looking very, very good for BB Team, of course. This is their pick. This is the map that I think they wanted to make their signature coming into this tournament. Got clapped yesterday. So there are issues, and there is very recent tape that Rooster could have gone back and watched. We're about to find out whether they have now.
Yeah, 2 for 2 in pistol rounds to start off in that previous map. So that's something which Rooster will potentially feel a little confident about. If they can get a pistol to start on towards the CT side, then maybe one of something to work with. There is nobody towards A, but there's 2 out towards long. TJP going to rotate back over. Smoke, molly, flash. That's the commitment of the play here. Some of these shots are going to connect as well, and TJP is just going to completely double away. And they're going to leave a player out towards long house as well on that T side. And you know, for Magnagez, he can get a lot of information from here.
Chelios goes fast, maybe a bit too fast for anyone to really help him out. It's an easy first kill for the Glocks here. Headshot spotted, headshot landed as well, and Magnagez, he strikes at the perfect time, flattening it off. Beautiful from Kyron to close out the round. That is BB on the board early, and a really decisive pistol. Something that we kind of praised Rooster for was their pistols.
Yes,
so that's now been scratched. This could get dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, we already, you know, we've touched on this veto so much, right? The fact that you know, we went towards Anubis, a map which we know BB are very decent on, and then Dust2 being this next map up is so solid for this BB side, where they're just sort of expected to take it and to take it pretty comfortably at that as well. So it's a big ask. That goes without saying. Mac 10, nafany. How's your reactions? Not good enough. He was a little focused elsewhere, asleep at the wheel. He'll get caught. And JHD will happily take a Mac 10 to work with. If they can make it a little bit expensive here, it's not bad, and Chelios going to get away with another kill.
Okay, fair enough. Again, in the context of a round like this, that's what you want. Get some kill bonus, get some kills on the board, really, right? Get everyone off that 0 marker. I'm going to go down. That'll be the round pretty much secured. We may well see another kill, potentially. JHD with this Mac 10 is what we keep our eyes on. There is an early nade, doesn't really do an awful lot. Actually, I think it bounces a bit funny, unfortunately, to try and get him through that smoke, but it doesn't really work out. Chelios going to go down on the backside. Again, a reapproach here from Rooster, but round is secured by BB. This is where we have to see what this Rooster squad can play towards. One of the things about Dust2, I think Mirage falls into this category, maybe Inferno as well, although it seems like Inferno is falling out of favor. Everyone has a decent amount of knowledge on how to play this map. It's really not going to change or function differently across regions, right? Yeah. There is not a lot of depth here to Dust2 at the end of the day. So that is the small, again, amount of hopium that I will give across to Rooster, is that this, as I mentioned at the top of the map, is the great leveler, right? They could suddenly just have a really good day. Chelios on the AWP could start taking over.
I mean, as maps go as well, Dust2 is fundamentally easy in the sense, right? Compared to maps like your nukes, for example, or even kind of as we saw yesterday with like how big play Ancient, it's difficult to break down a side of that. But Dust2 does give opportunities for individuals to shine, and that is what we need to see out from Rooster. We need to see just a little bit of something more. We saw flashes of it in towards that first map on Anubis, where it felt like, okay, there's an idea here. Slimy, I think, looked really solid towards the tail end. Chelios had a good couple of moments as well. TJP had a good couple of moments, but it's about getting them really proactive. Flash comes around, and Kyron actually gets a little bit lucky there. He gets caught by the flash, but they don't opt to fight.
Yeah.
So he's given the space.
Sounded like a herd, I suppose. Probably thought there was 2 or 3 round that corner with just how confident Kyron was playing things. Has been a weird round, actually. There was like 2 players in the tunnels fighting each other. I think 1 bullet landed out of a total, what would it be, 50 shot. So that's kind of wild. And yeah, BB seem to have really put the brakes on here. This is, again, going to be a commonality on this map, keeping the attention on both bomb sites at the moment. Trickle smokes coming in by the looks of things, but not a full committal. It is out through middle. And it is potentially a hit towards B here. Nice find onto nafany. They're aware of a man in the tunnels as well. So I think they should be prepped out for this one. Could still get overwhelmed by the numbers, but not going to be the case. Really well held here. All onto Zorte. Gets the nade in. Not ready for ASAP to be so close. And Rooster will indeed take that first rifle round. It is, again, something to touch on. The mid to B to kick things off is a risky and maybe overconfident play from the T side. Yeah,
it felt like for me, the idea that BB caught out of spawn fell apart a little bit quickly. You know, they wanted to take some control in through tunnels. They wanted to kind of poke and prod, I think, over towards A, and then it doesn't work. nafany gets clips dropping down towards CT, and it changes the narrative and I guess the pace of that round too, and unfortunately things do drift apart. So, do you see a buy back in? I wouldn't say a nice one for BB, but we've got an AK, we've got a Galil, and we've got some upgraded pistols. And this is a sort of a buy which, as we saw in towards Anubis, you cannot discount BB on it because they made it work a couple of times.
Tech9 moving up. nafany seems to be a big fan of short at the moment. Constantly trying to make plays over there in these early rounds. Big find from Siren as the smoke goes down. UMP is up close, surely dealt with. Yeah, not what they wanted. They need someone to sort of stand strong. He does buy a fair amount of time. Chelios can't quite get there early enough. Big Tech9 frag from nafany. There go the hopes of this round, let me tell you. Save going to come in. BB have stolen it away on the lower weaponry. nafany running rampant at short. Just Slimy remaining, and they might even go after him here.
Yeah, exactly. They might actually start the hunt. Well, both sides, this is a pretty important swing round because both sides don't have any economy left in reserve. So if you can make sure that nobody survives, you're going to make this very expensive. nafany, he got us 2, but the third was maybe a tad greedy and he will get caught. But now they know where Slimy is, and you can see Sharks are smelling blood in the water. They might continue to pressure him a little bit, but I think without the timer left on this clock, it's all down to maybe whether Chiron can get over towards Pit in time. I think he actually will if he steps towards the end. Yes, he will, and he'll get the kill as well. Perfect. Making sure nothing survives for Rooster. BB, great response off the back of a bit of a poor round prior, but I think nafany does very, very well. That double kill he gets for the Tech9 is super important because if he had maybe not got that kill into his doors, there's a bit of a gap in the armor for that T-side execute where there's tunnels control that potentially Chelios could have utilized in his favor, but not to be. So it will be a low buy out for Rooster, which should mean BB get up towards 4, you'd hope. Let's let this one slip away. Mac 10 going to come through for nafany. Rifles across the deck and a decent amount of util as well. And what at the moment was an MTA site, but now they've quad stacked it.
Deagle setting up. Okay, there is some damage done. There is the USP getting active. This could be a scary push in. They're trying to boost up onto the site through elevator itself. Not going to happen. All mowed down. Just too many bullets down range for the unarmored opponents to deal with. Chelios is late to the party, of course. He's Molotov'd off for the time being. Again, there is definitely one name he could find. Not going to happen. Lands a dink, but it's not going to do much on that USP, of course. BB rolling through the motions. looking very good while doing so. Another key round on the horizon.
Yeah, a little scary for a brief moment, but recovered quite quickly. You know, the opening kill comes through with that deagle, and it did look a little shaky, but in the end, not to be. Wasn't expecting a lot out from Rooster, and we still haven't seen anything just yet, which has given us a lot of hope. I mean, this is a map in which feels a little bit more even in that sense, and we do need something out of Rooster. I mean, you know, we had a 9-3 first half in towards Anubis, and while that second half really wasn't bad, they got 6 rounds, and they looked a little bit more competent because they were the ones setting the pace of the game. It was still such a mountain that they had to climb, and just a bit too tall of a task. ASAP, though, good for that first. Kyron just tries to go a contact play through mid. There's no smokes behind it, but yeah, he'll get caught.
They've been quite confident with that. nafany's doing it a lot around short as well. So just keeping the awareness up on the Rooster side of things, that there is always a play around the corner, it feels like. Keep checking all your angles. Don't just train in on one spot. So well done in that sense. An advanced position in mid from TJP. He will hear a lot of jumping, a lot of footsteps, etc., and seems to be ready, informing his teammates that there is an A-lean going on at the moment. They have pulled away from it, though. Dropping down a little, again, making noise. Could be heard here by ASAP, but no real sell. It's another mid to B play. Now, you remember the last time they did this? It failed pretty miserably, actually. Potentially because there was 2 in on the site. ASAP gets caught. And now it is just JHD trying to find a gap to get into the tunnels. Unfortunately, takes his eye off the all-important doors position. And that will be that. So a bit better this time around from BB, taking it slower, working the map a bit more before they fully commit. Yeah,
good kind of just poking and looking around and seeing where the fights open up and just taking them, right? Simple stuff. All it takes is 2 kills, but as the round quite cleanly gobbled up as well for this BB side. And now, in a similar way that we saw a little bit earlier, they can actually go for a little bit of a hunt here. They've got a bit of money left over, and they know that that's not the case for Rooster. You probably don't as well want 3 players staying alive, because 3 players staying alive CT side means you can rebuy back into this, especially with loss bonus. So they might look for a bit of a hunt, but time too far ticked, and with nafany's Molotov, nobody was behind it. With that, Rooster, I think we do buy around this. I think they've got enough money in reserves for the players left alive, plus what they've got kind of in the back pockets of the 2 who fell of ASAP and JHD to actually try and suffice some sort of an investment in here. I feel like it's probably the right way to go about it, especially around an AWP of Chelios too. I wouldn't mind a pause though. I wouldn't mind just a brief conversation. How are we going to make these CT side rounds stick? At the moment, we're 5-1 down, and it's not looking too favorable. JHD just gets completely caught in no man's land there, and yeah, it's tough. Head and hands type stuff. What you want to see. Vibes are a little low over towards Rooster. That's one of the things that was going for them in that second half of Anubis. You know, they started getting fired up a bit when they got a few rounds in a row, but a little bit quiet, a little bit timid at the moment. And BetBoom, I think, are doing a really good job at the moment. Especially, I think, in particular, Siren's looking very active in the early part of these rounds as well. Getting a lot of space. You see nafany and Kyron also go for pushes of their own. They're getting so much information here, BB.
Up, down, ready to go to try and find this first kill. The smoke, unfortunately, makes his life difficult. We got a long rush coming round from BB. And this is the T-side's favorite position on this map, to get out long, have the entire team alive. It'd be nice to find a kill, maybe 2, but they just have this space and this moment to collect their bearings and decide what they want to do with this. Have a cross smoke coming in. That is slightly antiquated cross smoke, you might even argue, but all the same, faking out a position here.
Bold decision, though, from Rooster to go for no long presence, basically, at all, and not even the long util. Obviously, you can throw that from spawn, but they opt against it. Basically, no presence and playing retake, and retake might not work for them. nafany for 2, and he might go hunting for a third as well, as he knows he tagged up Chelios a lot.
And that is that. It is as simple as that. No contest at all there for BB getting in. There was a quick trade, but yeah, nothing to really speak of. nafany leading by example. Something he did on the first map as well. Maybe wasn't the highest fragger, but he was the one taking the space, making the plays, and maybe this is, as well, yes, something that he's instilled, something that he's talked about, but you have so many star presences on this team that maybe they've said, I don't want to go in first. I don't want to entry. That might be a lot of their kind of issues, is that there's a few too many personalities, a few too many goals on this team that are just getting in the way of themselves, really. So nafany has potentially swallowed his pride and said, okay, well, if I've got to charge in, I've got to charge in. It's working there. Oh, yes.
That's worst case scenario.
It is.
Losing
that's
the AWP
nasty.
there, that is not what you want to be doing at all, because that was a full reinvestment back in towards that round, around what was saved. That is really going to hurt them. And, you hate to kind of look at the little things, but they were messing around with the football a little bit, and obviously conversing, and even for a brief moment, Chelios wasn't even looking at his monitor. He was looking over to his teammates, and just that flash comes over. It's a bit panicked as he tries to recover. Andy was tagged. This time there is a bit of long presses coming through from Rooster. Magnagez is already out. Kyron will chunk a nade, sure, but Magnagez's position is really strong here. The fact that they don't know he's there.
Slimy, check your angles, get ready for this fight, sir. Magnagez takes it, it's crisp. That's long control in a slightly different way than the previous round. They'll now start to work off the back of it. Quick smoke, quick Molotov, but Magnagez is so far up on this site already. There's a big old gap in the smoke.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
Chelios is not really around to capitalize, unfortunately. Good kill comes in as well from the rotating presence. So the bomb will go down, but they have lost some of their bite here, I would say. Siren with a mid flank has got to be watched, has got to be cared for. Does seem like they have an idea of him. The bomb wasn't fully committed, still not gone down as yet. Nice trade coming in towards middle, but Kyron has moved forward to create space for a clean plant. Chelios in the mixture, and that's a break on the smoke. It hits him, as does the bullet, and he will hit the deck down to this mid presence that they had. He's found a couple of kills, nothing he can do, and a save will come round. Little knocks from Rooster, but BB, no reason for them to open the door.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is looking hopefully less competitive than that first map did. At least Anubis had brief moments and stints. We saw Rooster get the pistol, the force, they were in 3-0 up, or 2-1 up, and they started having moments of being slightly competitive. On the T side, it looked a little bit better in the second half, but at the moment, we are not seeing any of that. This is a really tough display, and I think, unfortunately, and sort of maybe expectedly, with their backs up against the wall, they're one map away from elimination, and they're already off to a poor start, 7-1 down. I think they're just kind of mentally checking out a bit now, and it's not looking good. Small mistakes they're making. Magnagez not even being expected out towards long. These are small things, but incredibly costly, and it's difficult. It's very difficult, and this is where you look towards taking tack pauses just to try and take a breather and try and find the way back in towards this game, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough. At least we're getting consistent buys out for Rooster because of loss bonus, but they're not doing anything with them.
JHD going in for a move here. Not able to find anything, but at least discovers the tunnels to be clear. Siren! What the hell is that? It's been a quieter member, to be fair, but yeah, those were pretty clean. You forget he exists on this team. You forget sort of the past that he has as well. A bit of a hopeful at one point for Spirit from their academy system.
Yeah. He was in the limelight for a while and then sort of dipped out of it. I'm glad he can find his form once again. He's still got it as well. TJP, Chelios. A simple thing of just saving for them, but it's about whether they're given the luxury to save, and it seems very much so that they are.
It's just relentless, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the last time they tried saving, you talked about them, not fully concentrating. It's, again, another wake-up call, maybe a difference in region and everything, where the round is not over until BB in particular, in this case, decide it is over. They've got the bomb down, but that's not the way they want to win the round. They still want to win via the frags, and they're still giving it. Sorte on the AK at range just demolishes that final frag. Really well done.
Beauty of a shot there by Sorte. And this is such clean Counter-Strike. There is absolutely nothing that we can really say on a negative tone over towards BB. They're playing, for the most part, quite perfect. Siren, these couple of shots to open things up are wonderful. Brilliant stuff from him, and yeah, everything else just slots itself in towards plays. I don't even think, in a way, that nafany's being required to call too hard here, right? He's not really having to anti-strat all that much. They're just giving them the fight, and BB are winning these heads-up duels, these 50-50s with relative ease. They're not breaking a sweat by any means. TJP, his MP9, it's so labored, and the labor doesn't pay off. Down he falls. It's Siren, who's barely alive, but he'll take the kill every day of the week.
That is unfortunate, man. They just cannot catch a break right now. Really, really difficult stuff. I mean, it does set up a couple. Maybe there could be something in this. 4 on A, ready to go. They've seen this round a good number of times. However, MagnoJez made his way out mid. It's difficult for him. A bit of assistance required. Deagle of Slimy is all now that remains. He does what he can. He got his. There was no one else to back him up, though.
Time is running out for Rooster. In 3 and towards that first half of Anubis, that first map, and they'd love a 9-3. I think now, honestly, the way these rounds are playing out, it doesn't look like 3 is even going to be possible. Can they even get 2 is basically the question that we're asking to ourselves. They just haven't been able to show up on Dust2, and we knew this map was going to be good for BB. We know it's a strong part of their pool, bar yesterday, and generally speaking, one that they always like to lean towards, and Rooster have not been able to do anything to shut them down, and it goes from bad to worse. Chelios going to get caught early. Chiron, relentless as the word we've used, and another fine showing of it. Holds W, and he's up and towards shore, fighting doors in the first 10 seconds.
Early nades out on B to try and find a frag over there. There's not really all that much in it, unfortunately. Smoke for smoke. It's just drawing attention away, and when you've got the advantage already, it's a really solid idea from BB. Rooster, however, they've only got 1 round in a total of 10 played so far. They feel risks can be taken. So against the grain, potentially, they are, again, fully moving TJP in towards A. The door of B obviously still open here for BB. A lot of time taken. There's a late move into the pit from Slimy. Could get overlooked here, but they will pay the respect by the looks of things. It's a contact play. It's all about timing. Maybe Slimy jumps out at the correct moment. They will check all their angles. It's a nice off from him. Again, it's only 1. They need a bit more. They need an individual to stand up here. TJP peeks over with the flash. Ooh. Eventually gets his reward. He's done some good damage to a bit more. They will both hold the line. The 3 name players looking good, but it's nafany trading back. What is happening in these rounds, man? Does he have enough time to grab this bomb and get back over? I'm not so sure. Definitely with ASAP being in short already, he's surely able to cut him off here. nafany just charging for it. Flash goes high to try and create the space. ASAP blinded, gets that final kill. It is work. Rooster keeping themselves somewhat in proceedings, getting their second round, but you can see nafany, but a smile on the face. It doesn't matter all that much in the grand scheme to him.
He's not worried. He's not stressed at the moment. 9-2 heading into that final round of the half, and nearly that recovery coming forward from BB, which would have been pretty incredible. But I actually think TJP staying alive over towards Car for as long as he did was probably the only mistake that they made in that round. They mollied him, and I think they maybe thought that it went deeper than it did, so that he'd fallen away, but he hadn't. He stuck up and he got his. Chiron jumping up will get his, as TJP going to be clipped early in towards the round. The same won't be said for ASAP though, so an answer back on towards nafany as he now has to call from the grave.
Siren going fast, and then he gets scared and runs away. That's exactly what's happened there ultimately. There's nothing happening for him on B. Chelios can't do anything about this smoke. Maybe wants to try and make a play, though. Rooster, after winning their 1 round, they've got some newfound confidence, some new shoes. Trying to use them, trying to get in the face of their opponents here, and Chelios will get that good timing. 4 on 3, an advantage for Rooster. Never thought I would say the words. It has not happened for quite some time. Bomb going to go down here. Really clean plant despite the advantage, despite the numbers looking good. The AWP shot misses. So Rooster maybe getting a bit of luck towards the tail end of the half here. It would be really great to end on a sweet note. Maybe not so much the sour one. A lull in play here as they just get themselves together, particularly in towards CT. Molotov breaks up play. The shot lands onto the long player, though. That's all they've now got to worry about. They know they're all in towards CT. Tech9 is out in the 2 versus 2, and they will fall flat. 3v4 is lost, and it's double digits for the BB side moving into half 2.
spark the fire. Blow up the storm and see the light, yeah. I told my friends that I could run on water, and they said nobody can. They'll see me flying through the sky, yeah. Play hide and seek behind the clouds. I show my friends that I'm not scared of dreaming, and I'll do that again, over and over again. Suddenly, the heart and chest feels heavy. The calm is just a memory. It's failing me, and I know I could never surrender. My
Unfortunately, another flat performance coming in from Rooster. They managed to recover themselves somewhat on the T side of Anubis, their pick, but it still wasn't enough in the end. Another pistol hangs in the balance for them. BB could end things here and now. Magno Jez looks to do just that. Kyron can't trade him out. That would have been very large to drop the bomb, but they will chase after. The Glocks do well to not go quietly in this round. Advantage swings their way, control swings their way. They've got the utility here for the B play, and they are exactly just going to keep that going. Sorte in from behind, Siren looking to join him as well, but he actually sticks in the tunnels. Ooh, to cut them off. Sorte's found that flank. TJP's got a good position here. Don't rush the bomb plant, no need to do so. It will go down, but quite nicely, quite cleanly. There's CTs coming in from everywhere. Backup on the T side as well. Really strange situation. Nice find. Good kill, gives them keen control of the tunnels area. nafany tagged down to one, finished off easily. Sorte cannot shoot from the back of his head. And so Rooster, they'll keep their pistols going. 3 out of 4, we got to give them that.
Yeah, it's not bad in terms of the pistols. It's just, unfortunately, nearly all of the gun rounds are just not being that great.
Yeah,
but
the main part of the game.
Yeah. You know, Counter-Strike, basically. But, you know, the thing for us now is hoping that with this pistol, and then you'd expect the force buy off the back of it, if they can get just a little bit of confidence to lead to some consecutive rounds, that we might just have something on the cards here. Still feels like it's asking quite a lot, but we'll see. Is it going to be okay? A force buy out for BB, and not a good start for Sorte as down he goes. He does try and fight. He takes that first tag, and I thought he might just pull away from that, but he sticks around just a little bit too long and, well, pays the ultimate price.
We love a double doors banger. Really, really clean stuff. Could give Rooster the leg up that they need. Have slowed it way down, though. We saw this quite a lot from them on their T side of Anubis, so they just group up, pick a bomb site, go for it. Keep it simple. Don't get any other ideas, really. 5-7 does well to find one. That's the key frag. Magna Jez could have really done some damage from his position. nafany and Kyron coming in from behind. nafany just holding W. Takes the scout. Probably saying see you later here, actually. Can drop that 5-7 across. You know, you have something to present in the next round now. And again, this kind of a scoreline, it is all about just the mental pressure, not letting them have any breathing room, not letting them sort of calm down and mellow in their thoughts. It's constant paranoia, constant high-level gaming going on, really. So BB going to have to continue that, I suppose. Kyron looking for exits.
And we saw, you know, Rooster in towards map number 1. They looked a lot better on towards their T side. And, you know, Alan touched on it on the desk as well. It's a lot of it down to them, you know, being able to set the tempo of the rounds and play at the pace that they want to. Kyron will hunt at the end. He'll get himself a gun as well. I think it was a Galil there. TJP has a bit of a laugh about it, but it's not the worst sort of weapons to work with. Like you said, a couple of 5-7s get dropped over. Then we've got a Scout and I think a Galil. It's not the worst sort of thing to have as a sort of a reinvestment in quotation marks in. That's an AK, in fact. It wasn't even the Galil. So, yeah, not bad. 2 5-7s, a Deagle, an AK, and a Scout in the hands of BB and in their current form. This is workable. This is workable indeed. Kyron, a very clean first, and he gets out of there, doesn't stick around. That's all you can ask of him.
Yeah, he had the spawn, man. He's not messing around. He just absolutely wants to get this one over and done with, and maybe a bit of, you know, respect in a way that it's like, we know this Rooster team can potentially get back into things. So why not in a round like this? TJP, has he been seen? He has indeed. Chiron set up for another all over the map. Usually, we would see this with like an AWP, right?
Yeah.
Where super dynamic, taking fights everywhere, trying to create the opportunities for himself. But he's on the AK. He's not showing any signs of slowing down either. nafany making mincemeat out of this one. He spotted all three of them at the very least, but that could have been a kill. They're trying to capitalize on it. There's the AK again, right? There is no escaping Chiron right now. Nice find from Chelios, takes the tag, however, and Chiron's still on the cards for the ace. He's in the right spot. Clean headshot, one more to go. Can't get it. And now maybe recovery for ASAP. If he plays it correctly, he's taken the full HP player, isolated it down to the 1 versus 1, knows nafany's got to be somewhere around here, and he will win the fight out as well. Round saved, and more time bought for Rooster.
Yeah, credit to Chiron, though. I think he does really, really well in that round. He isolates fights brilliantly, and I think the pistols that are playing around there for BB, they know that Chiron's going to be the make or break in this round. He's going to be the win or lose, and if they want any chance, they've got to facilitate him, give him preferential fights, and he's basically taken nearly every fight bar the first, maybe, as catching somebody in the side or catching them off guard as they're focused elsewhere. So, nice work. And of course, because that wasn't a real investment, they have a buy-in towards the next. AWP out for Zorte. Rifles alongside it. Rooster up to 5, but we're basically talking about them needing to win essentially 3 separate gun rounds in a row if they want a chance to time this game up. It's a big task for a side who have struggled with consistency basically all event.
Chelios looking to take matters into his own hands. No one around to really contest him. BB again playing back, playing safe, not taking any chances here. The gap gets ever smaller. And this is a really, really key round if BB can just shut it down before it gets going, and at the very first sort of proper hurdle, the steeplechase will end prematurely. Rooster showing a bit of presence, but there's really not a lot going on in this round. Again, another very drawn-out T-side round from them as they potentially look to end A, but as a late smoke comes in, that might make their decision.
I think so. nafany gonna play up close there, just behind the smoke. He's got a bit of a timer on it as well, so he's got some space to work with. They're under a bit of pressure of this clock. Rooster, no room for error. nafany, anti, good for the first, dips away. Perfect. They're gonna come in behind it, does a fair decent chunk of damage, and Zorta now posted on the edge. Good for the first, sets up for the second. Will get it as well. The rifle just coming to mop up the rest. Chelios, all that's left. Call it a day, my friend. It is not to be. Other ideas as nafany starts and closes that round. And BB get ever closer to the map. 11-5, 2 away from eliminating Rooster from Atlanta.
You have to bait that utility out, right? You have to really, maybe even sacrifice a player, arguably, to just sell a bit of an idea, and they were just way too comfortable, and then you're running through a smoke. Like, it's just not going to happen at short. Did not give themselves enough time to make themselves known, even. Oof. Shot is close. Oh. There you go. Chelios, he's got it, man. He's got it on the scout for sure. Whether it's going to have much of an impact is, of course, another question. But some nice kills for the highlight reel. You know, the Dust2 merchant, potentially. Another one coming in for him. Okay, so we are asking BB to just hold off ever so slightly. They've lost control of mid in particular. Chelios watching behind, knows what's up, knows the tendencies here. Oh, timing. Chiron then, I would have said, give it a chance at an easier fight, but no, the Deagle rips his head off and probably wins it. 4 versus 2 now.
This should be the round. nafany going to get tagged up, and he nearly gets wallbanged. He will. Again, headshot wallbang. Another one for Chelios. Well, yeah, like you said, with this scout, he's got it to a T. Last man off Siren. A no quantity as well. He was spotted out. Best of luck. Safe to say, this one shouldn't be getting off the ground, and gets a bit of a taste of his own medicine, at least at the end there by Chelios. I would assume we're just saving the AWP here, but it does look like Siren might be tempted to give it a go. Yeah, I mean, of course they have money in reserve, so why not?
Yeah, so many rounds to work with as well. It's good to see. It is good to see. He's taking an advanced position, tries to get in early. The bomb's not really been planted yet, so he still has a semblance of control. It's not loads, right? He knows they're going to be low on utility as well. Just the nature of where it's at. How does he take no damage? That's crazy. Manages to get away, get the reload off. Now the round changes, though. The bomb has gone down. There'd be no reason for them to peek into him. Did he spot the leg there? I'm not entirely sure, but he's got some timing to work with. They think that he might have flanked around towards long. Got to be a planter in on the site. However, I just can't find the headshots. Still takes a player down in the end. Again, that relentless stress that they are just really, really displaying here and keeping on this Rooster side of things. Yeah. It is a round, but it's not enough for any of us to really believe in the comeback just yet.
Exactly. Good round, though, from Chelios. I think he looked clean as. He got a 3K in that one, so you'll take that every day of the week. And with the scout in particular, too, at least making that one sing. BB right back into a buy. And it's a better buy than what Rooster are bringing to the table as well. They've got a couple of Galils to come through and in a couple of hands, not a lot of util. Michael Jez might go overlooked here. There's the first. No, it eludes him. Oh, that's a bad one. That's a bad one to not hit. Michael Jez had all the information to work with, and a bit like a deer in headlights, he just didn't really know how to capitalize upon it. That's the sight, and it might actually just be the round. They might just call it.
Yeah, I think so. Why not, right? This is more of a situation where you have a lot more reason to save. One player's not going to make too much of a difference. As we saw in that previous, we talked it over, right? This one is where you've got, well, 3 players with no money. So you have to save, really.
The good thing is 3 saving generally means a reinvestment back in.
I mean, potentially, I don't know.
Even like MP9s.
It's only going to be 1900 if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So, you know, like...
The way I look at it, right, is like, I just feel like if you have... Or at least like, you know, a 5/7 armor or something. Now that it's 2 and it's not an AWP, changes the conversation. With 3, I always feel like the best thing to do is try and buy it, but they're getting hunted and hard. And now with only 1 rifle, now we're talking about a save here. It would just be Kyron, similar to the earlier round where he had that kind of hero AK, he'll just try and hero M4 here.
Okay, so it was 2900. It's actually a little bit higher, I think, with where the back and forth has been on the rounds. Loss bonus a bit higher than I expected. So 3 surviving probably would have been a fair buy. Neither here nor there, like you're saying. Get a taste of their own medicine. They get hunted down. They don't get saved for free. So, really good stuff. Rooster, again, showing us a bit of what they are capable of.
Yeah, tackles to come through as well. Caught by BB. It's a railway. Want to get on the mic or...
The goat's saying something.
The goat's talking.
We have to listen.
I don't know. Can we ask for videos of the goat? Because...
I'd be interested to know.
I'd love to see what somebody who, as they put it themselves, it's not my words, this is Rooster's words, and TJP said it, he doesn't know Counter-Strike. So what are we inputting here,
does he know ball, you know? Does he know competition?
You know, is this guy Vibes Cartel, you know what I mean? Does he bring, is he bringing the hype? I guess not really at the moment, but...
Not the hype, but just another voice. Just a calming... They wouldn't bring him for no reason, you know?
I mean, maybe just
go without a coach.
Maybe they
go without
like,
a coach. Teams do that.
Yeah, but maybe it's not like, let me just bring my mate for a holiday to Atlanta.
I don't know. It's like 3 or 4 days, and you're mostly playing Counter-Strike. So
true. Well, they won't be tomorrow.
Well, indeed. Well, come on now. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Siren has managed to find the first kill on that 5/7, of course. That could be really dangerous, actually. Kyron's not gotten activated. I think they've ultimately had to sacrifice the gun. Not going to go after it just yet, but surely someone recircles for that weapon. Chelios watching a really key angle here, of course. No smoke, no nades or anything of the sort to allow a cross to come in. A dangerous, dangerous channel if you decide to make the perilous journey. Smoke for the cross. Molotov for the car. Simple stuff here as Rooster needs to be very careful in these next few moments. nafany gets another. The M4, not quite. Chelios is lucky to be on 1 HP. Could it make a difference? Could it make a negative difference? We'll find out. Zorte trained in on the site. The M4 is behind him. A really good position for these guys to be in here. Zorte to take first contact. Does lose his head quickly. Kyron got to play it really, really well here. Again, they've not quite dedicated into the site just yet. Chelios is holding for the inevitable rotations. There is no rush. There is still 20 seconds. Tap onto the bomb. Kyron does not peek. He will give them that space, but Slimy does not neglect to check. Down to the 2 versus 2 as Chelios fell in at middle. No kit available, of course, but we've had the weapons recovered. Can fight back. 1v1 for Slimy to keep them in it. Going to run out of ammunition, running out of HP here as well. Does not look good, but just play that clock. Just draw him in. Don't get greedy for the fights. He goes a bit early, tries to hide his head. And there is enough time for the defuse. Siren will get it done. 12th round comes in, and another tough one for Rooster to lose.
Yeah, that is not the one you want to be going for at all. That is really going to hurt. And that'll be map and series point BB. And they are just moments away from moving on tomorrow. This is the elimination game, of course. We're moving forward on to later, may I say, and it will be goodbye to Rooster. They have got to go flawless now. Try and take this towards overtime. These 5 in a row, something that we have not seen at all this tournament from Rooster. They have not once gone 5 in a row. 3 in a row is the most they have got throughout this tournament in terms of consistent rounds. It's a big ask, really is. It's Zorta for the first as well. Nice shot, full blind, catches JHD on pure instinct.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's the classic in spawn. You know, get me in there, guys. Get me in now. I've got the spawn. Get it flashed. Get it flashed. And then you just get clapped by the AWP. You know, it's disheartening. It is disheartening, and it leaves Rooster in this recovery position once again. They have made it out middle quite fast. I don't know whether this will be necessarily expected. Flash comes in. It's good for information, but they've not been able to take any names down. Nafany's in behind quite fast. Siren with a really good spot in towards Closet. Going to get it all done by himself. Triple kill rolls in. And, well, there was a moment where it felt like Rooster, again, potentially could get themselves in, but just not fully hooked into the game.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate. It's a good showing, I think, to be honest with you, and maybe an indictment a little bit of BB that it should have been more one-sided, particularly on that first map. All the same, the result stands. They get the